On this week's Friday Focus, I'm talking about morning routines. So here's what I think my morning routine should look like. I should wake up refreshed and rejuvenated at about 5:30, 6 o'clock, spring out of bed, do my yoga, do a little bit of exercise, have my lemon water in the morning to kickstart my body's all my body's systems and cleanse it. Sit down, do my thought work, meditate, very lovingly cook my children a very healthy breakfast before taking them off to school. What my morning actually looks like is snooze, 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 couple of really quick stretches, jump in the shower, rush to get breakfast before taking my boys to school. Now, up until Christmas, I had a really good routine of waking up, doing my gratitudes first thing in the morning. So I would write down at least 5 things that I was grateful for. That really has not happened since Christmas. I've really got out of the routine of doing it. And I'm a big snoozer. I love my bed. And I really consider myself to not be a morning person. I think it's a fact that I am not a morning person, that I cannot get up in the morning. So, knowing that your thoughts become things, it makes sense then that I struggle to get up in the morning. And I used to beat myself up about it actually. I used to beat myself up because I was like, successful people, they're up early. You have to be up early to be successful. And I can't possibly be successful because I'm a big snoozer. Now, intellectually, I know that's not true, right? Intellectually, I know that actually there are people out there that are earning millions and they don't get out of bed till like 8, 9 o'clock, or they don't start work till midday. Like, I know this to be a fact. So I understand that it's not true that you have to be up in the morning to be successful. So I've dropped that belief. And when I tried to set a morning routine with that, with that kind of undercurrent, it just felt shit. And knowing your reason why you want to do something, whether it's weight loss, changing habits, whether it's managing your mind, learning to manage your emotions, starting a new routine, if you're doing it from a place of I should be better on some level, it's not sustainable. You can't hate your way to a life you love. You can't hate your way to a body you love. It just doesn't it might work, but it's not sustainable and it's certainly not enjoyable. So I have decided that 2024 for me is a growth year. My word for this year is growth. I want to grow my self concept, my business. I want my clients to grow um on an emotional, financial, not growth on a physical level. I don't want to grow my body, but I do want to grow my strength, like my muscle strength and my tone. Um, and part of that for me is doing hard things. Like when we stay in our comfort zone, we do not grow. We don't evolve into who we want to become. When we stay comfortable, we can't create an abnormal life. We just keep creating our normal life, whatever that looks like for you. And there's no, I'm not thinking that normal or abnormal is a certain way, but you get to choose what it is for you. And if you aren't particularly comfortable with the way you're experiencing your life currently, then to get out of that requires going into your discomfort zone. And that's what I mean by growth. And part, so I'm rambling a bit, aren't I? Just because I don't want to say it out loud. Because the minute I say this out loud, I now am accountable to everybody that's listening. So, anyway, 2024 is growth. And part of that for me is putting in place a very deliberate, intentional morning routine so that I'm starting off my day very intentionally. And this is what I teach my clients. This is what I consider mind and emotional management to be. It's about being intentional. It's about thinking and feeling deliberately for the given situation. That might be sad if you're experiencing grief. It might be positive if if for whatever you want to do. It's about being intentional with your thinking and with your emotions. So to help me on this journey, I have bought a book and it's called The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. The 6 habits that will transform your life before 8 a.m. Now, I'm really glad he said before 8 a.m. because I am not really interested in getting up at like 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, but I do think 6 o'clock's acceptable. And for what I want to do, 6 o'clock would actually be a really nice time to wake up. Um, and what's fascinating, when you buy a book, I witness so many people buying a book, they read it, go, oh my gosh, yeah, that's brilliant. But they never actually implement what the book tells them. They never actually put into practice. And it's a bit like coaching. You could go, or a personal trainer. You could come and speak to a coach, you could go and work with a personal trainer, and that personal trainer will take you through a session and then they'll say, right, to get benefit from this, you need to be doing your exercises yourself 3 or 4 times a week. If you don't then go and do those exercises, you're not going to see such a big difference. It's the same with working with a coach. If you don't then go away and practice your mind management and your emotional management, you're not going to get such a change. So I've bought this book and I'm going to start implementing it. Now, I have already tried. Um, I started last week. Monday was brilliant. I woke up and I was like, oh, this feels easy. And I really enjoyed the fact that I'd got up and I did everything that I wanted to do. And then I didn't do it for the rest of the week. And I thought, right, okay. Last night I was like, right, tomorrow's the day. I'm going to do it. And I woke up this morning and I did a couple of things that he says, like, so he says, put your alarm away. So you have to actually get up to switch it off. Have a drink of water ready so you hydrate yourself straight away. So I did that. I had my phone and I had some water, and I don't usually sleep with my phone in my bedroom actually, but I had it there. And I got up at 6 o'clock and I thought, oh, okay. And I turned my alarm off and I sat on the edge of the bed. Oh, and I just felt like my whole body just felt like it was tingling. It was really uncomfortable. And what I always like to do before I get out of bed is I like to just like twiddle my wrists, twiddle my ankles, move my hips around, stick my legs up in the air. I just like to wake my body up a little bit. So I thought, right, I'll lie back down and I'll do my little exercise. So I laid back down and I did my exercise and I did my ankles and I did my hips and then I put my legs up in the air. And then I laid down and I thought, oh, I'll just put the duvet back over me. And when I put the duvet back over me, oh my God, it felt so good. It felt so good to curl back up in bed. And then it was then it was like 6:45 before I got up out of bed, or 6:50, whatever it was. Now, what's really interesting is a couple of years ago, or even maybe 6 months ago, I would have then really beat myself up. Oh, Nikki, you failed. You're never going to do it. You're useless. I don't do that anymore. So I feel like I have failed in my objective of getting out of bed at 6 o'clock, but that doesn't mean to say that I am a failure. I do not put those two things together anymore. So throughout today, I'm like, we're just going to try again tomorrow. I've learned something now. Either do your twirlies before you get out of bed or do them on the floor. You don't get back into bed because once that duvet goes back over, it is so difficult to get out. And there are things that he then suggests doing. But one of the things that I find absolutely fascinating that he says about is no one actually really likes the process of getting out of bed, but we all like how we feel after we've got up early and when we set our morning up. And I can really relate to that because it's like when I go and swim in the river. As I'm walking up to the river, my brain's like, what the actual fuck are we doing? Like, why are we doing this? This is going to be awful. This is going to be terrible. It's going to be freezing cold. And then as I'm walking away from the river, having done my swim, I feel incredible. So that's something that I'm going to practice tomorrow morning, very kindly, very compassionately, saying to myself, this is okay. We can do this. Just think about like 10 minutes time or 20 minutes time when we're actually awake. This is going to be fine. We can do this. Not, God, Nikki, you're pathetic, because that feels shit. So I've really enjoyed reading this book so far, and he's got a couple of really good tips in here. Um, and the other thing that he says about is coming back to like the intentional, like living your life intentionally. If you're not willing to be uncomfortable, like I said, you're not going to grow into the version of you that you want to be. So for me, part of this is about practicing that discomfort, practicing that growth, practicing that change in identity of I'm not a morning person to actually I can do this. And research has proven that what makes people successful is their ability to do hard things. Whatever success looks like for you, the one thing that successful people have in common is their ability to do hard things. Now, to be clear, I have been working on believing that I'm successful anyway. Whether I wake up early or whether I don't wake up early, I really do consider that I'm successful because me 3 years ago would have dreamed of the life that I am now living, that I have created through my own tenacity and courage and perseverance. So I don't need to be up in the morning to be successful, but it is something that I do want to do. I do want to be the type of person that goes, right, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to set out to do it. So he does say in the book, commit to 30 days for just 30 days, because 30 days creates a habit. So for just 30 days, you're going to get up every morning at 6 o'clock. So I'm choosing 6 o'clock. So hold me accountable, follow me on socials, listen to my story. Um, I'm committed. I am pretty determined to do this because I just think it'll really help me evolve into the type of person that I want to be. So if you want to stop snoozing, first of all, continue to follow me, continue to listen, maybe subscribe to this channel, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Facebook, follow me on LinkedIn. I don't really do much on Facebook actually, but Instagram and LinkedIn are my biggest, most commonly used platforms. Definitely Instagram. So follow me on Instagram. You can follow me at the Emotional Resilience Coach, all dots between the words. And let's do it. I've put it out into the universe now. You've heard me. You can hold me accountable. I really put off doing this Friday focus because I didn't want to put this out into the world. I'll let you know how I get on. Have an amazing week.